everything is you, Lord. Yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Everybody say, oh, oh, oh. Say, how can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've done for me? Words are not enough, enough to say thank you. Say, Lord, you are my everything. You're my everything. How can I express my gratitude? How can I express my gratitude for all the many things, you Father, you done for me, yeah. Words are not enough to say thank you. So Lord, you are, you're my everything. See, I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. Uya matinyina. Uya matinyina. Uya matinyina. Oh, uya matinyina. Yeah, so uya. Uya matinyina. Uya matinyina. Yeah. Uya matinyina. Oh, uya matinyina. Say, I call you Jireh, say. I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are my everything. Yeah. Are you ready, everybody? All right, listen. William me ground, cover your 1, 2, 3. I can breathe without you, say. I can breathe without you. I can move without you, Lord. I can move without you. Hey, who am I without you? Who am I without you? Say, I can live without you, yeah. I can live without you. I can breathe without you, Lord. I can breathe without you. I can move without you, yeah. I can move without you. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Hey, who am I thinking now? Who am I thinking now? Oh, who am I thinking now? So, oh, yeah. Who am I thinking now? Oh, yeah. Who am I thinking now? So, oh, yeah. Who am I thinking now? Oh, who am I thinking now? Martin now, me oh. So, who am I thinking now?
Mema obi biara akwaba eba yedwumedi so enenso otwede ampon adaroma adom ne nti no yenya ahoden yenya nkwa na yede adwumedi a every Friday bia yeto ho anamo no enenso yenya ahoden ede brem megidi se baby biara wo ho ye na se wo ho ye de a ene emesre weni die mu na twe ben me na fra onua adofo bi fra onua bi fra ekuo bi se emre na so ye ba be kam ransam enti through ene ye topic eba betu dwa no ehia ma nkrofo bebree enti no mesre onko a enchemfa bomode anafro bi se onbeka wo ho ene just 1 hour bi pe na yempense mremu efa saa dwumedie efa saa topic eba betu dwa na megyidi se enko awieye no wenya wo chefa wo wenya answers bi a upe a ache na wuntume no ene no ubenya saa answer no nti bomode na twebe me baby biara wo mesama wakwa aba ebedwumedie iso aha ye BWF Solicitors aso ye a adwumedie ato ni din se legal hour na legal hour so de na che se ye be camera awemra adamremu emra efa ye ho emra efa ye family law ho emra ye fa ye ebusua ho emra efa immigration ho emra efa litigations ni mitigations emra efa impo yenkrom Ghana emra chese emra ubenya ho nimde na odi atu anamo aha eye BWF Solicitors yo na ye koso imidin a odi frɛ me ari manye na ate ana ofrɛ manye te a mejo so bre ene edwumedi e ba be idi no ye beka nsɛm bi a eboa a nkrofo adwumadwuma nsɛm a yeyi yomo edi na yeyi yomo edi na omonte ase anase enye mra kwan so nansa na medwudwumu anansa me introduce me resource person no memfa nsɛmfo yi kakra entudwa na yehu ebi ni se meka nyoma seneko na eba a o se yetu anamo anase yenya ho nimde anase empo no enye update emayen isan se wonam na wonim ne ekwa wanhwa no ayere wo kwan mu enti ne kire ne se nanse mu yedi yi visa se electronic visa eba betudwa dodo na ehu ekira kwan aye nanso still a enkrofo eda so ebisa na de enkrampo ene yi visa me ba be chechuru mu na ansa na me chechuru mu me dinchi akese ede ma me nua ba tile duma tile nyame nhira wo say hello lovely family nyame nka ho tile obubo nkrofo den se ne omo nso embembe join ku no na yemfanya adesua ewa ha me nua be mana na agiman me dinchi akese ede ma sanso na nana etia hene me ma very special morning Margaret Edu Mensa wonso medinchi akese edema obabi biara wo sanso na Race mama Tando mama mechia Abigail se Mensa wonso mechia na atili ka se wo join apa bomodian na share program no na commenti na afenso wa like ni hia papa na just adwuma ya no we need so intimacy but like the page just like o click on the program now so no like no o ye ne sana emma Facebook for who say adwuma ye no ehu hia na yensusu yenkoso a yenya ahoden ne emfanye so keep on liking the page and then subscribe to our YouTube channel nso hia pa the last time we check no nipa kakra bi pe na subscribe so ko hwe nkrofo channel a oho ne didi atem ensem amfaso ni so emfa engbobra ensem a enye hwe wo abrabo mu oho momo be hu na nkrofo bebre a subscribe sense yesi nipa da se ni sabio nkwase asem nko na ye ne je ho adesua se de wo de ha o ma adwena mesrew adesua no eye enti bomodia subscribe to the adesua channels no so se ne ebe ya bibi fufuro bia eba na edbeto a ubenya ho ahwe na wehu ne ekọ enti like our page subscribe to our YouTube channel afenso ne twato okra uba so a enhwe ne dwin saa na wonko mesrewe ni die mu ahobrasie mu bomodin comment wo de ka bibi keke ne ehu se ampa wososo uba so ehia ya nkasa uba so wo de se wo ne hwe kakra ka hi na ka share the program eboa se ne ebe ya at least yehu se monso mo honom ehia ya nkasa yo me kan se meka yi visa ho asem yi visa ye electronic visa no ni aban hihye a de ato one se sisi a obetu kwan a enya akwantu bibi efre no share code se wo kwa rent dan mpo a landlord no or se wo generate share code bi ede ma mo generate wa won krata ye de ama wo home office no ukọ omo government site no so a ube create account na wo create account na wo de wo ho nsɛm kakra bi egu wo nsɛm bɛyɛ baako mmienu em sɛ wo name wo date of birth ɛne wo either sɛ wo telephone number ɛne wo card ana wo passport no na wo de ato saa adeɛ for we na em sɛ ehia paa ɛwɔ saa account creating no afei wo create a wo status a ɛwɔ home office hɔ no ɛbɛyi ne nyinaa de akyerɛ wo na afei waka sɛ wopɛ sɛ wo create wo e-visa woyɛ wo e-visa na ɛno ana wo sɛ e-visa no etumi generate share code sɛ wokɔ rent dan baabi a medu yɛ no wo rent dan a wobɛtumi de ama wo landlord no sɛ wo share code ne sɛ na landlord bɛhu sɛ wowɔ asetena ɛwɔ ha a ehia sɛ wobɛtumi a rent dan saa nso wokɔpɛ adwuma a share code sɛsi a baabia obiara share code unless say mbia okita British passport ɛna em sɛ no mo no omo nya share code no but okita any other document bia na o sɛ wo use share code no na wo de nante afei ba ne visa no nso a sɛsi a wo tu kwan a sɛ wo nkita wo share code for visa na ɛha adwen papaapa o sɛ wo ye wo visa no ɛma akwantuo koraa yɛ fɛ kɛkɛ o kɔ ɛno asɛ wo se ubo uko tatatata na se odi ade ne tare ye na o sin fefefe unye queue bia tintenti ti se place some places and the omoda so queue but when you have this handy now trust me it makes the journey so easier at the mount udu airport enya afe na ye be wentwi na ye yesi unya boy ya odi we ni to so a na ekọ so yi visa na ehia e na make am person o create all you need to do is go to government.site no so UK government.uk no ko omo site ho no ukọ a bibia or de efra ho Amazon forest bibia wo hia wo krom ha bibia oboya ebeyi e de abro all you need to do is just create the initial account and then the rest will follow inti no and am pese me dimu mesa increase volume no ewo ho edemamo se na ebeya ebekọ ya so mu ye na ye to ho anamo adai taribi medase mesa ejo so papa Charles emrin so say good morning my teachers mejo so papa meni age Inti mobaso a monhye emfa maye say greetings to all the BWF Solicitors team no inti monhye emfa maye afei ade ba ko nso a mesa aka any English test no say ukoye citizenship o say ukoye indefinite o ana say u extend wo status ne wa ha embia na yama 2.5 say oye oyere oye okunu na waye A1 ubehia sɛ obeye A2 ana obeye B1 no eno nso hia nkasa without that no your visa no ye mfa emma o ti sɛ watro eno ansa na wo de account sala ye kan sɛ ukoji indefinite ne dia ye se o sɛ oye life in the UK no nso ka ho me mamo difference wo English no A2 ni B1 no sheda enye den sa but ewo kwan a obefa so a obe answer wo questions and na be kire say ampa unim we left from your right when it comes to ukasa with interaction with people and I say going about places no and most of the time o hwe A2 say a nneoma nkiti bi na ya na ebisa na ubetumi akyerɛkyerɛ ase na afedie which me edi ato anamo sounds na B1 no ye a little bit extended and also no nneoma bi wo ye be kyerɛkyerɛw na eno nso waye na se indefinite na okoji a na obetro life in the UK na na so okoye citizen na obetro life in the UK na ne nyinaa no different English and the life in the UK are totally different thing enti no ne be ne say enche bia me introduce me resource person and me wono say ohia any question bia after the program no frame ya metumi achecho mu yi na yetumi aye enti no enche bia me introduce me resource person no na waba na afe ye de dwumadie no ahwa ase ene topic e ba beka no kan yen skill workers no mo na ekoma mo dodo na mo say unfair dismissal na say ye yiwedi ana say sisi ano nneoma bebre ekoso enra akra na obi afrɛ me say yama no unfair dismissal ɛdeɛ na ɛbɛyɛ unfair dismissal ɛnɛ me ne me lawyer ɛbɛba efidie ne so no me ne ne ba abɛgyegyem ne akyerɛkyerɛ mu na yɛhu kwan a sɛ ɛkɔba ne sɛ wo nim sɛ ɛyɛ unfair koraa no a ɛdɛn na ɔsɛ anamoa bɛ na ɔsɛ wotu sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ a wobɛtumi egyina wo nan so ɛyɛ a na medwene skill workers bebree na ɔmo sɛbio ɔmo sponsors no ho atikyi ma kakra na yɛagyegye ɔmo license na ɛyɛ a na ɛyɛ awerɛho bebree nanso no yɛ nipa nipesu ɛne sɛ opportunity biara ba ebi mu ɔmo greediness ebi mu ɔmo su ebi mu a ɔmo fomfom a ɔmo mee no ɔmo ho mfomsoɔ bɛhu na abɛka yɛ nyinaa nti no ɛkɔba ne sɛ wakɔyɛ victim of such a circumstance a wei deɛ ne program no ɛbɛkɔ ɛde ama wo papaapa no mahu anamu a wobɛtu na wo nso wagyina yie nti lawyer Charles mema good morning very special morning to you na megye de sɛ oho yɛ mema wo akwanya na wo nso de nkyia ɛde ama etiefoɔ ɛne ahwɛfoɔ na afei yɛmfa adwumadie no ɛntoa so.
Yo na medawase bebree etiafo ne ahwefo ende efiada anope yɛde nkyia kase ɛma obi biara bebi a wo ebiara nkomo no ɛho ehia pa titiro yɛn skilled workers a yɛbepie UK ɔman mu na enyoma baako mienu nti yehu nia yɛnyɛ Employment Rights Act 1996 UK law den na ɔka den na metumi ayɛ yɛde toto contract nso ho a den na ɛka den na metumi ayɛ.
Yo, lawyer Asma, yedasi ye. And then come on there, more the power. When it comes to skill work, I'm so excited. Say you will get all the information that we need. You know, na yemfentu and especially skill workers. Abegu krumu ha bibre. You know, until Asma mesa adawasi biom. My dekan aka a bit about visa. My dekan aka B1 life in the UK. You know, message say because yemre no ko ite for monfanchem na stay with us. Stick with us. Don't go anywhere. Mumbo modia na muntie up to the end of the education, especially. Now, if you have questions, maybe a telephone lines, no, they are too at the amount. Now, wait to me be our question. For not lawyer asthma, it be more at the amount. That's why Mama Moya would do be too anamo. Ain't producer, obey to me the topic not to get at the amount bioma. Na min bisa yen lawyer. Dwumadie aba bedi no ho topic a abɛka no na membisa ne mu na afei ɔnkyerɛkyerɛ enti ne yɛteɛ ne sɛ yɛsi unfair dismissal in the workplace but your main focus a look at skilled workers right ɛno ne adeɛ a yɛpɛ sɛ yɛka unfair dismissal in the workplace na kyerɛ sɛ baabi adwuma biara a woyɛ biara no sɛ yɛyi wadi na wofeel sɛ ɛyɛ unfair ɛna ɛba abɛka ho asɛm na mmɔ yɛbɛsi mu pi yɛsi mu sita ɛwɔ skill workers for ɔmo right a ɔmo wɔ when it comes to unfair dismissal ɛno ɛna mpɛ sɛ yɛka ho asɛm so lawyer Asma mɛsa ato nsa afrɛ wo biom. First of all, ye can unfair dismissal na. Ubetumi acheche ye mu kakra na afe yafa efri ho.
Yo, medase bebree etiafo ne ahwefo ye hwe ende dismissal ewo edwuma mu. The kasa dismissal a se edwuma wura eka kyerɛ wo se edwuma no ebi a waye kodu no eye feto ho. Senti ne se waye bibi anaasɛ edwuma no ebi ni hɔ anaasɛ aban ɛhyɛ wo sɛ ntoa saa edwuma no so anaasɛ aban ɛhyɛ edwuma no wura sɛ kasa aban a mmra anaasɛ aban self hyɛ edwuma no wura sɛ beebi a edwuma no wura yɛ kodu no ɔfa nto hɔ nti yɛhwɛ mu a yɛbɛtumi adismiss obi ɛwɔ abro a nipa no edwuma no wura behu sɛ ne suban bi a ɔde no ɛne edwuma no nhyehyɛ ɛbɔ ebura anasɛ ɛnkɔ ebi a na nipa no akɔbɔ kron no anasɛ wakɔyɛ bɔne bi anasɛ wamfa edwuma no nhyehyɛ anyɛ edwuma ɛno etumi ɛde dismissal no bi ɛba anaa nso sɛ edwuma no bi ni hɔ a yɛfɛ no redundancy ekobesa na kire se obia nko fie no nti ne ehwema nka ye holy dismissal because I need the enye fault enye edwuma anso no fault ena aban hyehyɛ nso betumi akobesa saa edwuma na nipa no ye no ontumi enye biem yehwemu a edwuma bebree a kan na nipa eye no ene computer na eye anase robot na eye nti na ekobesa na kyerɛ sɛ edwuma na woyɛ no sɛ mfaso ni ho ebiem ɛwɔ ne nti a ne aban hyehyɛ nti a na kyerɛ sɛ akobesa saa edwuma no wugyae eye edwuma no wura betumi aka sɛ wontumi enye biem na yɛde wei nyinaa ɛtoto ho a yɛhwɛ nea ɛwom yɛwɔ constructive dismissal no sɛ edwuma no wura ne suban bi nti wode w'edwuma ato hɔ nti ɛno no ɛkɔbɛsa a wotumi ɛka ɛde fa mmerɛ kwan mu sɛ na edwuma no wura yɛɛyɛ no nti a ɛma wode w'edwuma to hɔ no nti mmara ɛne edwuma no wura ɛndi ɛno ne constructive dismissal sɛ bi edwuma panin anaasɛ edwuma nhyehyɛeɛ anaasɛ supervisor bi nyinaa no tumi ɛkɔba sɛ ɛno nti nipa no egyae n'edwuma no on the basis sɛ ɔtena hɔ a ontumi enya ahotoso ɛne well-being a ohia ɛne sound mind a ohia no ontumi ɛkyerɛ sɛ edwuma no na ɛkɔ so no nti anaasɛ edwuma no wura no nti anaasɛ edwuma panin bi nti ɛna nipa no ɛde ne biribi ato hɔ sɛ ɔnyɛ edwuma no bi ɛne yɛfrɛ no constructive dismissal ɛna yɛwɔ another dismissal yɛfrɛ no summary dismissal no deɛ ɛnɛ yɛ a yɛka kyerɛ sɛ gyae the moment na yɛbɛka sɛ gyae no ɛno ano no ɛsɛ sɛ wosesa wo nneɛma na wokɔ efie na kyerɛ sɛ summary means on the spot dismissal ɛna ne nyinaa no yɛhwɛ mu a yɛpɛ sɛ yɛhu sɛ obi bɛ sɛ kasa na then yɛfrɛ no gross dismissal ne summary dismissal ne nyinaa no ɛyɛ the same na ebi a na ne ɛfɛ ne sɛn kwan a edwuma wura fa so ɛde nipa no edwuma anaasɛ arrangement anaasɛ contract no ɛbɛ wie yɛ anaasɛ dismissal no bɛ wie no na yɛhwɛ mu a ɛntɔ asum na ne yɛfrɛ no unfair nti even though nipa no yɛ dismissing deɛ but yɛhwehwɛ mu a dismissal no has not been fair nti na akɔyɛ te sɛ unfair dismissal no mmara ɛma ɛkwan sɛ edwumayɛfoɔ anaasɛ nipa na ɔyɛ edwuma no otumi edwuma no wura ɛfa anaasɛ edwuma no ɛfa mmara kwan mu na unfair dismissal no yɛhwɛ employment right act 1996 no a ɛfa bi yɛwɔ section 94 no nea ɔka ne sɛ obi yɛ edwuma ma obi a mmara ani kwan sɛ saa nipa na ɔyɛ edwuma no yɛbɛ dismiss no unfairly na kyerɛ sɛ yɛamfa mmara kwan mu anaasɛ yɛamfa edwuma no nhyehyɛe policy ɛkwan no anyi nipa no nti sɛ yɛyi wadi na ɛntɔ asum anaasɛ mfa edwuma no nhyehyɛe mmara no so anaasɛ ɛmfa acas mmara so anaasɛ ɛmfa employment right act ɛkwan so deɛ a na eyi na yɛyi wadi no has not been fair edwuma no wura anyɛ fair to you at all ɛntɔ asum na yɛde toto ho a yɛhu sɛ wei deɛ nkyɛ yie na ɛnɛ nkɔmɔ no yɛde sɛ saa unfair dismissal anaasɛ dismissal ɛntwa yie no ɛwɔ hɔ na saa foɔ no a titiri skilled workers no ɔmo right ɛwɔ saa kwan no so ɛne sɛn na saa unfair dismissal no section 94 na yɛbɔɔ so no ɔse an employee has the right not to be unfairly dismissed. Employee has a right not to be unfairly dismissed. So not just before I work as a nipa oye edwuma no edi no na as I make sure say wafa emrekwan mu and say what the wafa a policies ne akwanya a ho no wafa so ama ato asum. Now even you say oye edwuma ma obi a nipa no ntumi yi wedi abra amfa emrekwan mu no because you are right not to be unfairly dismissed. Why and now what's that akwanya no? Into your course section 108 of the Employment Rights Act 1 Obakacho say even though a human right into me you know so to me at the human right court and as from requemu a bisa who say when you human right here a 2 years and that's the qualification period. In the period of qualification to bring action for unfair dismissal against the employer no 2 years. Nti sɛ wonni adwuma no wura nyɛ adwuma 2 years deɛ a wontumi ɛmfa adwuma no wura ɛnkɔ ɛmfa mmerakwan mu sɛ di no a wɔayi wo no anaasɛ dismissal no a wɔde ama wo no ɛnyɛ fair. Tuma yɛnhyɛ ɛhɔ no nso. Ɛna yɛkɔ section 230 of the Employment Rights Act one so ɔkyerɛ obi a ɔyɛ employee sɛ obi a ɔwɔ contract sɛ obi a kwan anaasɛ mmara a adwuma no wura ɛne saa nipa no ɛwɔ no nyinaa di adanse sɛ ɔyɛ adwuma ɛma yɛtua ne ka na saa wei no moma yɛnhyɛ no so obi omu a ɔyɛ full-time employee obi omu a ɔyɛ part-time employee obi omu a ɔyɛ permanent employee obi omu so a ɔyɛ temporary employee nti ne yɛhwɛ a all skilled workers no technically they are temporary employees or fixed-term employees because contract na yɛde bɛma no bi a yɛ 1 year ebi yɛ 2 years ebi yɛ 3 years ebi yɛ 4 years ebi yɛ 5 years nti either way no skilled worker bi a ne hɔ a ne deɛ no ɛyɛ permanent ne nyinaa no ɛyɛ fixed term anaasɛ temporary na whether ɛyɛ fixed term or temporary no nipa no qualify to be employee under section 230 na saa nipa yi a yehu sɛ okay ɔyɛ skilled worker deɛ but ɔyɛ employee mɛ saa adwuma wura no woma yɛhwɛ another angle yɛhwɛ mmara a ɛwɔ especially case law ma yehu sɛ wopɛ sɛ obi ɛyɛ employee anaasɛ ɔyɛ employee a yɛbɛhwɛ akwan a egu hɔ adasɛ egu akwan yɛde atoto nyɔma yɛde atoto hɔ ɛkyerɛ sɛ saa nipa wei no biribiara yɛ ne nyinaa no employer no ɛna ɛcontrol sometimes na yɛ ana mix it up in a way say you can't really tell sɛ nipa no ɔyɛ employee anaasɛ ɔyɛ employee yɛahyɛ no so ɛwɔ section 230 sɛ woyɛ employee a say yɛhu wɔ section 94 sɛ woyɛ employee a you cannot be unfairly dismissed what about sɛ woyɛ employee na woyɛ self-employed at least all skilled workers are not self-employed because adwuma no wura ɛne ɔmo akɔ agreement contract ɛwɔ a under Employment Rights Act 1996 section 1 terms and conditions of employment ne nyinaa no egu akwan mu a yɛde ama nipa na ɔyɛ adwuma no nti nipa no wɔ contract of employment ɛna nipa no so adwuma no wura na ɔcontrol no bi ne sɛn adwuma wura bɛka kyerɛ sɛ time ɛsɛ sɛ wode ba adwuma nie wendi so a wato adwuma no mmra adwuma wura bɛka kyerɛ sɛ yɛyɛ training yɛyɛ meetings ɛsɛ sɛ wodi so wendi so a wato adwuma no mmra adwuma wura bɛka kyerɛ sɛ yɛyɛ program bi ɛsɛ sɛ wodi so wendi so a wato adwuma no mmra adwuma wura bɛka kyerɛ sɛ na awɔtwe mɛma wo anasɛ bosome so a metua wo ka mɛma wo pay slip ɛkyerɛ breakdown of income and anasa wo salary no ɛne deductions ɛne pensions ɛne national insurance ɛne income tax a yɛtua ma aban ne nyinaa no adwuma wura de bɛma wo sɛ adwuma wura ma wo biribi saa a na kyerɛ sɛ adwuma wura no ɛna only the process no you are employee anaa nso ɛsɛ bi a within adwuma no a wɔn mu no ɛsɛ sɛ wɔ uniform bi a ɛsɛ sɛ wohyɛ anaasɛ formal dressing most of the time no ɛhɔ no deɛ ayɛ na ɛyɛ flexible because the uniform ni wɔ there then you are allowed to wear any appropriate dress or clothing to the workplace for your work there no deɛ clothing side in there but sɛ clothing side no ɛyɛ prescribed there edwuma no be expect say wo bedi so when ni so a what to edwuma no embra bia pension one utia pension and I say edwuma no na utia pension ma o national insurance one utia and I say edwuma no na utia ma o tax one na prepare with tax file with tax and I say edwuma no na o ye ma o ye de we na to ho na ye hu say edwuma no our less control then akwa say we are self-employed. So we are self-employed, yeah, then you do not have the right under Section 94 of the Employment Right Act. I can say an employee has the right not to be unfairly dismissed. It doesn't matter whether you qualify under Section 108 of the Employment Right Act, which is 2 years of working for the employer in that capacity or role. See, I share, sir, and so. And yeah, we are skilled worker. Are you an employee, a worker, or self-employed? That's why I say skilled worker phoning in no. A human in contract. You recruit one. You go through interview. And then when you human no, you more sponsorship. Into human run or sponsor no. The only difference is say a human run no, I know a contract. To me, jai a human. And when you human move before. At the same time, you know, a human run into me because of my way human. Because edwuma ni ho internet can say agreement. However, within the provisions of the employment rights and let's say agreement for the skilled worker no and the two immigration status na employee no as a skilled worker no because I buy a home office hyehyɛ employers and employee nti na aban hyehyɛ na trying to say so we are skilled worker na uhu sɛ edwuma no ebi ni hɔ a ma aban aso nti na yehu sɛ wonyɛ edwuma mma saa nipa no biem na yɛ ama wo time sɛ kɔpɛ edwuma foforɔ wonya kokurom nti restriction ɛwɔ ɛhɔ no the same time edwuma no wura nso hu sɛ edwuma ni hɔ a mmara no ɛhyɛ ne sɛ ɔma mpanimfoɔ adasa aban aso nti sɛ edwuma no a ne nipa no baa sɛ ɔba aban no bi ni hɔ nti nipa no sisi a no ɔyɛ edwuma mma me biem aban bɛhwɛ kwan a ɔbɛfa so ɔbɛma nipa no akɔ no kurom anaasɛ ɔbɛma no akɔnyɛ sɛ ɔmpɛ edwuma foforɔ nti na yɛhwɛ mu a sɛ edwuma no wura no ka sɛ skilled worker no edwuma ni hɔ biem nti ɔno ntumi antoa contract no so anaasɛ skilled worker no ka sɛ edwuma ni hɔ nti there's no point for me there na kyerɛ sɛ akɔyɛ redundancy situation redundancy arrangement no even though under Section 95, redundancy as one of the reasons which me dismiss obino, the baba ehono. Now, under skilled worker provisions within immigration spectrum, no, the moment a human employee now be redundant. You don't have to go through redundancy programs or processes, but common sense and fairness will prevail. Say, employer no be human rule who say, edwuma worker no ehu sɛ sisi a na edwuma no bi ni hɔ nti mfasoɔ ɛni so sɛ wobɛkipu no ti ahyɛ wɔ yi na nso na yɛhu di a na kyerɛ sɛ wo a woyɛ skilled worker no what is your right sɛ wayɛ edwuma ma employer no for 2 years na ugu so wɔ hɔ di a you have a right under Section 94 not to be unfairly dismissed.
Lawyer Asma, if I say you can right, no, wait, just a quick one, for near Lawyer Asma, actually, munina, no, waka from, you can say dismissal, home, near a dear nature, say, yeah, dismissal, and then baby, a chess say, yeah, unfair, ain't you know, say, uber sharp. Wakeka bobɔ nneɛma bebree so just metwe mu adwen akɔ ansa na yɛahwɛ right no sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ a wohwɛ right no na wode compare unfair na ehu ade pɔtea ɔsɛ woyɛ nti asma yes sisi a wobɛka right but ansa na wobɛka right membisa just a quick one wobɔ section 230 sisi a wasan bɛbɔ 1 is it 17419 for wasan bɛbɔ na sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ a will not get mixed up with these session and I say can you say emra policies na yɛhwɛ 230 no o Udi can be constructive dismissal and san obeka near nipa nangasa no aweja ni nadie ato edwuma na ato so onye biom nanso no ono nso beka say eye unfair anase osan be ball session 230 no enti ehọ na ubebo 174 and 194 cc forgive my figures now and na amami said no main share 230 ni ye senior ya say compare these ones na ama obi adwe mu anya nim tanta nti o mami just a repeat of that 230 na afi ya be hwe right na wo ball ho na ke be me de pampacho
You 230 no extra one or yeah worker and as an employee.
okay.
The definition of worker or employee.
Mm-hmm.
The employee a one obi oni obi work contract. How you do man?
That's right.
What be employee or worker a many pano?
Okay.
So arrangement to make my permanent.
Mm-hmm.
A bit me so I temporary.
Mm.
A bit me I long term.
And
A
that's
bit
a
me I
fixed.
short-term.
Okay.
But here, so whether we are employee and as we are employee, no, depends on control, level of control employer no ewo also.
That's right. Okay, I feel the
I want to
share
say
right.
here.
Mm.
Enti obi o mo ye adwuma ma obi. Bibia kire say oye adwuma ma nipa no. But ono na the discussion is saying no dey any tax.
Sir.
Enti na kire say ye ba ma o full amount. Na wa wait you with tax. Wa share pension. Wa share NI. Ne ne keka ho no. But apart from no, all other levels of control no, edwuma no ba ewo. Uniform, attendance, training, and anything that edwuma no expect say obeye. And even how to do it and when to do it.
Okay.
It's our controlling na employer no work. But your back pay control no employer
What?
no ade ama employee no some the sika no ba o na wa na awode ba ya no say internet said there is an overlap of a sort into which the case of Uber drivers what the Uber company echo court na court kan ni na ne say ebi mu wo ho a omo ye employees ebi mu so wo ho a omo ye self employed.
Okay.
Enti omo draw the station. Identity na the same Uber drivers will be more you some employees. Na be so omo you so omo self employed. Mind you, we are self employed and you don't have any right and Employment Right Act.
Okay.
Because a contract you juma jusika obi ade ne ho.
That's right.
Self employment status. When all the abandoned delay. Employee status. You juma sika ni but how much you get I control it. Tax it's in my hands because the tax law no me to me say me tax no ma buy at source.
Okay.
So who you control? NI who you control? Pension who you control? Of course, while we bet you NI, I have an employee NI contribution. But even that, employer na betty. What do you say? Your deductions million and the amount, which is your net. That is employee status. Because employer need control pay system no. Nti you show we na skilled workers don't have that flexibility. Because employer no no payroll and pay as you earn system.
Okay.
Employer no dictate how to do the work, when to do the work. Even though there is a formality to follow. Because within the prescription of contract, there will be formality. But you cannot control delivery of the work. Until you're a skilled worker, you don't control delivery of the work. When, how, where, you don't control it.
Okay.
And you can also have a substitute to say, I'm an employee. I can't do it. It's me the cover. Abba said, the cover anyway in your money. You can't. The employer must provide a cover if you are absent or not available. But
Okay.
self-employed is supposed to deliver the work in a manner prescribed within the self-employment contract. However, the most important thing is the delivery and quality of the work. In terms of substitution, self-employed for can substitute, but employee for cannot substitute. Into we are skilled worker, may I say, a client will if you now acquire personal care, mobility, or administration for the day. Ultimately, bibinti, my ma obi acquire mammy. No, you only tell the employer, say, I can't for this reason. And the employer will have to have a cover for that.
For that,
But
okay.
some year, a delivery van with a contract with this company. Na maybe I say me deliver nyama no, and I say me dey accord the time omo here na dodo na mo pay any arrangement I want to follow her. It doesn't matter who delivers it. All it
Okay,
matters is that it's been delivered in a manner prescribed.
that's right. Okay.
Remember who say differences I want. Nti
Mm,
say we are skilled worker, obviously no, you are employee or worker under Employment Right Act 1996 section 230. But we right under section 94 not to be unfairly dismissed. So you will deal without process, without following the procedure, no, it's
okay.
limited. It's limited to section 108, which says you must have worked in that role for that employer for 2 years
Right.
before you can have that right. Into we are skilled worker. Now ubaya BBC. Now we say employer no at dismissal. I don't say or you with your unfairly. Baka grants for dismissal no. So we need 2 years untumi your employer no foco because you don't have that right under unfair dismissal. You may
Okay.
bring under constructive dismissal or wrongful dismissal, which is not linked to qualification period, and they are separate. But unfair dismissal, no, we are skilled worker and we need for 2 years. I won't to me. Then what will be your right if you don't have right under section 94? Your right to be under contract because the contract between you and employer, no, let's say, you say, the employer is why you say. Nti sɛ wayɛ say na employer no say ɔntumi ɔnye adwuma no sɛ for whatever reason no ɔyi wadi a unless sɛ employer no yɛ right yɛbɛhwɛ no sisie no employer no ntumi arbitrarily ɛnka sɛ ɔntumi ɛntoa contract no so
So,
ɛba saa deɛ a then there is a breach of contract, no breach of employment. Of course employment contract is also a contract, and therefore within the wider spectrum of contractual agreement, you know, there is breach. If there's breach of contract, question is, did the worker have an expectation within that contract, say, obey a for 1 year, and that's obey a for 2 years, and that's obey a for 5 years, and that's obey a for whatever. So, then there should be compliance by the employer, no, and that's the other party say about to us arrangement, you know, so for us employee, no, and that's a skilled worker, no, oh yeah, SSA, oh yeah. Now, near echo ever say employer, no, because say won't me and to us, no, you share a be war emranumu, or say eba say ye obi dia. The boss earlier. One, capability. Nipa no ntumi nyɛ adwuma no yie. Nti sɛ capability matter there, you betumi yi adwuma no ayɛ yie. Ɛyɛ bɔne bi na wadi sɛ ɛyɛ korɔ no, sɛ ɛyɛ atɛmdidie, sɛ ɛyɛ harassment,
Mhm.
assault, na keka woni nyina no. Mmara no ɛwɔ hɔ a aban ne no bɛtwe. Ba sɛ na ɔkɔba de a employer no so ɛwɔ ɔhyɛ sɛ ɔbɛfa kwan no so no ama nipa no atwe ne ho anasɛ edwuma no ɔde ato hɔ. Ɛna yɛaba redundancy. Edwuma no bi ni hɔ biem. But even redundancy, there is a limitation. One, the redundancy must be based on economic conditions. The economic issue now cover them edwuma no bi ni hɔ there. It makes sense. Ɔman no mu ayɛ den, nneɛma mu ayɛ den, nti edwuma no ɛnkɔ so there. Then the economic matter, you close edwuma no down, and I say you close department no down. Nti then that one is no. Edwuma no wura ɛtɔ aso so ɔbɛkasa wo ntumi ntoa edwuma no so. Another redundancy factor or condition will be technical factor. Technical factor is say you're quite abefo away a ye ejuma digital. Na untumi enye de a na tell say untumi enye ejuma no. And na say you hear nipa biem. And so na tell say we ejuma no as say we dey to ho. Your share skilled workers there apart from say you say learn how to use computer to do the work no. There's no way I say computer na ye edwuma ni nyina. So you be there, but you are required to learn certain skill. Nti se when to me ehun sa skill no na edwuma no aka say ntumi fa woni edwuma there, then it makes sense on technical grounds for redundancy. Na ye organizational factors. Organizational reason or factors no maybe say edwuma no reorganization, retooling akoba say department be closing down, ejuma be closing down, downsizing, road be a shouting, a merge, all those ones. Ekoba sa ebetuma aye possible say employee no obe lusu ejuma, ube lusu ejuma there, na ye within organizational arrangement there, it calls for redundancy. But we shall be it economic, be it technical, be it organizational reasons for redundancy no. Who are we employer for the skilled worker no? Obama Home Office aya aware say for these reasons ejuma ni hobiem. Most of the time no these skilled workers no they deal with their clients or suppliers for labor. Now sa supplier demand for labor. Now sa nipa no demand labor no a skilled worker yi yadne kwaso onkwaya no. Ebi a sa contract na employee on this clients organization one any will be employer on the council na work contract council adonsize budget assessor nti edwuma no any contract any will be contract ni will be more the more about the economic reason for redundancy you tell the Home Office. And I also say you say obia how to do adiano with using technical skills. And I say technology. Now won't me actually won't me yet there. And so my Home Office here where say because of this no nipa no to me any no entwa edwuma so. However, you person you who say time nipa no eba no wo kan kire so be here skill no ana. So when kan kire no nothing of that no then you have to train the person. When training yourself on who they are, then you have a right as an employer to dismiss the person. And that would be fair, even if the skilled worker has worked for 2 years. Now, within all this, yabu bosso say legislation, say be a health and safety matter binti, as I said, UAD, and that's investigation be on suitability, as I say UAD. But say some ATM under unfair dismissal rules, the employer must go through the process to confirm say near osusu ye and I said no who ye and I said no tie no sanet ye a friend no confirmation of belief based on which we be dismissing in panel. So under case law, under ACAS, and under the company's own policy, one, the employer must have a belief. Say the employer no any emrano enko santi ye. Number two, employer no must carry out investigation to confirm that belief. ɔwɔ no a ogyina so eyi edie no. And number 3, in all this, there should be what we call wider consideration of whether it is A or B. It still makes sense under the circumstances to dismiss the employee. In today, share case to be a friend virtual reasonableness, case of virtual. Robert Culture say, even though Mrs. Birchall, now I hear Juma, of course, now why you more than 2 years. Until now, omitting requirements under 108, 2 years qualification as an employee. You will say employer no one fat in Raquin unity, taking all the box. In a there are at least 6 core factors that must be considered. Our employer doesn't so go through. 1, Uber who say na ako, you point it out to the employee. Then you call for a meeting. You call for investigation. You call for disciplinary. Then even putting the employee on written warning notice. Say a CBMUA, say that is if it's a matter of conduct. Again, if it's a matter of capability and that's a capacity to perform, employee must ensure say we training, we mentor, we support, we read to the employee for the dismissal to be fair. It is employer name to now a skilled worker knows adechi or say because of say be I say we buy rather the way and you after working for more than 2 years, but you didn't find out. Yes, your policy may say you are sleeping on the job but what is the circumstance? What is the reason? If you are signing panel, sir, and that one for at that time it can be oberu. Sanda no amfano sa time na nkoba committee blunder bi a eba affect ejuma no ekra. So many other reasons might have warranted sa action no. Nhwehwemu ben na wo ye eye. Uhu ya na no we nedi. Is this fair in all circumstances?
We dear master na wa bedwo no abeda. If you remember na wase amhwehwem. Lawyers ma me da se emra emra enti no se ne tie bia like you said no or say ye hwe ni nyina mu ansana ya draw your conclusion say may you wedi. So these are some of the things that will be saying say eye unfair na anase be state say eye unfair se bibi esi ewo saa kwan ni so a na lawyers ma wo kenyina ma onsem kakra because sometimes no when it comes to these co-workers no em say dodo na eba na no emra no omonti ase enti no eya na relationship ana familiarism abe bremu ama omo feel say omo ni omo employers no sebio omo kom kro mu kasa enti no ni omo pe na ose omo ye ma omo abra omo nim the mra kwan a regulate employers and employees no lawyers ma sisi ano me mfa na etwa to no se mbia obi aba abeda adwuma mu na still mra to be protected no say mbia employer na nhwehwe mu say that amre na odae no se nka wanda bibi betumi esia now wo hwe oyarefo mbia wo hwe abrewe bi wo hwe disable bi wo hwe ewe adwuma mu na yebeba no sebio wo wada camera a capture wo say wada na nipa ko a wo hwe no no bibi aye no so ho bibi aye no because wo wada abra o say ode hwe no no wa nhwe ma wa ma na afaw ampa wo betime anya excuse say sanka wanda wo susu nka wo be cause something mbia emboa but then the purpose of which inti a wote ho no a wo hwe obi no wo wada ma nipa no mbia no epra ana mbia na bibi aye no na wo ehu Nti sɛ wei na ɛba no sɛ ɛbɛkɔ so employer no n'edwuma anaasɛ ne contract, because under your supervision no you were not able to carry out your job. Emma incident esima incident na bia na ye cancel contract ma be investigate who say somebody was sleeping into na just say we be lose such a contractor now dismissing na. How is this unfair? What can emrani bebree e de akere yen e was say oye no dakro oye no damienu na ne nyina wo gather evidence na we gyina so say woyɛ nene memfi woyɛ ne enra memfi wasa yɛ ne nansa memfi nti ene dia wayɛ die me yiwe dia, would that amount say me yiwe dia enye unfair anase prekope na esi ye na no me gyina so de yiwe di based on me so employer no me so me ye ka ne say me contract me lose ne ade no. Where is this unfairness? Where does it lie? Then thin line that sa ade me since se ne be ya obi, because ade a me ken esi pa esi
No,
na sa unfair ye ti brofo unfair dismissal na no akaya so se ejina den so ejina what transparency na sa ade na ise no enye ho na ye hwe eno ase we yi me di unfairly lawyers man oho kitue yi no nsunsu aben ene dentem.
Yo, me that's bebre. Yes, within the employees handbook and I said code of conduct, there are different categories or levels of reasons for termination. The reason for termination, there will be minor and serious.
Okay.
Minor, you warn, you support to prevent repetition.
Okay.
Gross, automatic, a warrant dismissal.
Dismiss. Okay.
Now, what I want to make an exception of is that yes, employer no lose no contract into the yes, but that it is against the law for a jumano to, for example, sleep on the job.
Okay.
We are health care worker, and that's we are carer. Work or living, that. Now, for whatever reason, say a baba say we are, and I say I come say bibinti, you cannot focus. And I be create sa nap or temporary sleep. Let me qualify these things.
Yeah.
Then, question is say, we cut down with Juma when to me and you with Juma now, and you gross misconduct.
Yes.
What can you money? And ra etia, and also a gross misconduct. Some rate here, if you cry the police are boom. And then Edmund, as I said, I'll stop you immediately. But even that, you will be on suspension until you be cleared by the government.
Okay.
But what they will do there? We and the government has a health and safety matter.
Yeah.
Come on, wouldn't say and that F1 one as a wound to me and kukuno. Be a not medication be so into affect coordination there. Then I will catch the what does the policy say? So if you come to work and you are unable to perform, what do you do?
Yeah.
It is a winning. And I will carry I say, I don't have anybody. You didn't tell me early enough. I cannot get a cover now. So please, you must do it. And there some now maybe this year or no.
Oh no, okay.
But say yes, I'm not here. And I want made money right away. And a BB equation a creative problem cashier and acquire a buy issue. Acquire a creative problem, service user no. And no, your fault. Employer no, or debut. Until I share the case of Bercho and the ACAS procedures are. Obebi say, you didn't know to who assume say, near see ye ye penediana. Say, assume dia, then it is fair. Say, assume dia, It's not fair.
It's not
Remember,
fair.
I to assume say employer follow the procedure to deal with the matter. And the employer no follow ACAS procedure to deal with the matter. And the employer no follow Employment Right Act 1996 to deal with the matter. So there are 3 core references. The employer's own policy for procedural reasons, ACAS procedure for procedural reasons, Employment Right Act procedure for procedural reasons. So when follow there, then there is procedural unfairness. Then that will make the dismissal largely unfair.
Okay.
Now, the next
Yo.
thing is as soon as we do dismissal echo, but
Yeah.
is there an alternative? So, who are calling for and go to my first watching in Panaswana?
Okay.
Calling for one go to my first watching in Panaso, and a one for so dear, and I will go for highest punishment there. Then it may not be fair, considering the fact that Nipano has worked there for a long time. So duration of work and including age of the employee to be able to get back to work. Very important. In considering say fair in all the circumstances, you better share other things outside the rules.
Okay.
Who say common sense will prevail here to make it fair or unfair.
Okay. Wow. Yo. Emre ne ko. Enche maybe a telephone line. But maybe some last question or maybe one of the questions. Maybe sana yen koso. Sisi ano uka say ye can say yemba the real life situation of the skill workers no near air koso sisi what is actually happening now. Now apart from companies license being revoked, many I mean a lot of companies luzu or more license into no akoba ne say me ye me license into umpo edwuma na o say me ka say call because ye me license. Okay, na near ebimu nso a onim say oni hours nti we make car skill workers, especially the cares for no mobile no edwuma no oni hours no na hours no wo no nso no ono ni tirimupo no onim se mmara betumi eni so ka so yiwedi mmara betumi awe ne nti no wa on allocate hours ma embia obon say whole week no I just about 10 hours. What to say you are suffering ewo employer is because on more hours to go and work and on so on chiao the sikana that contract no chiao ka wa wunnim very well on chia all because say on more hours no where you be story America and no ono to ono no employee no onim say employer ne pese oyi nedi but hu kwan obeyi nedi nti or starve no hours se ne be ya wo no be na ahomete no no ankasa apene be bia afa we ni adwen wo employee ni tirim no no so si on pe be mfa na o insist say employer no e ma ne hours one ne kokwa na ya argument everyday argument. Sisi an employer na aka kire ne say oni hours no enti se ohwe no betumi apɛ akɔ baabi a onko girl say eye unfair dismissal so yi na di say onko baabi foforo le asma asem we abeda menim sorry ehin na eye unfair ewo we hu ana say eye fair ana say there should have been a negotiation ana say understanding between the two na solve such a problem no amicably and now say onka say onko no nkope baby no to the employee no wa dismissing no na so wa dismissing the there and is unfair mpacho na sem bom and say na sem nim based on this scenario.
Two issues na we raise the na we kan na one nimpa no onya enough hours but just na we kan
Sir.
and because of that ni sika na yetia no esua
Yes.
and
Nisika, yes.
Sika no so because ejuma no and also.
That's correct.
Right. The yes sika no so because ye yatiti bi efi so. But ejuma na emba and the sika no esua because it's just a matter of multiplying the hours worked and the hourly rate to get your pay.
That's correct.
Right. We look at two aspects of this. Now, you also mentioned say employer no air transfer nipa no akọ baby foforo or see onko. Ebehwe ehwo no so quickly. Now, eba hours no a any pay no a. You want nkofo a yam wo contract with fixed salary. And that's a wage.
Yeah.
It's fixed, you know. So be a salary, be a 26,000 or 26,500 or 23 something, depending on the skilled worker contract on the employer and one. We divide this figure by, for example, 12 monthly gross.
Yeah.
So you share It is the employer's duty to give me a job.
Yes.
And to say, if I'm going to work fixed hours, that's the one make me at least you give me the minimum, which is the contractual pay. I may not get overtime to work and to get extra money, but the fixed must be default. If the arrangement said £2,000 a month, so it is the employer who has to make sure say nipa no be adwuma ye so that bosom no so a utua no a unwini. But so one me adwuma ma ye na ma ba adwuma betena ho na bosom aso na utua mi na mi unwini a eya me fault and eya wo fault.
And a bay employer for, but
Exactly,
in the case
we're talking
of
about fairness of the dismissal.
but in the case of this one, a care and domiciliary CB. Ain't no, and yes, our babet na edwuma mu ho. Or fear because obeka just say mom ba because we hours ni ho obekwa akoye edwuma no. Ain't employee na etifie.
You about sanity there. What does more or less there was redundancy situation?
Yes.
Because edwuma ni ho. Employer no you the fault to say edwuma ni ho. Employees were the fault to say edwuma ni ho. And what should happen within the rules for employer no? Rule says employer no who say edwuma ni ho for whatever reason. Ma fekesim for nya aware. Na yemma nimpa no kopa edwuma foforo. Yes, I know policy nika.
Sana policy.
Na ekonko ho. Na misumiti fie. Na ekome dim na ye hwemu pa enka employer no patumra. Because edwuma ni ho a ka ba wo employee no so ye say edwuma ni ho a wo so kwaka. Nti ye hwemu a obi a enya mfaso e wo baby. Nti kwaka we lose. So there's something called sensitivity analysis.
That's
sensitivity
correct.
analysis, so you analyze the situation, you look at all the risks, which one has less effect, then you go for that. Because exactly. 60 days.
Exactly.
Employee, you have 60 days. If you are no lose, or do a backup.
Yes.
Fine, we lose, but when you be full. Until show my employer, I don't lose anything. Now, what employee we here, so you are yes, you can pay. Family council can ho, asetena so can ho. Enti, oba try say okay,
last a lot of people are in this situation. And I make can say, in Tinkomumieno, no move from Timbom, no one can assume dream one, na say, on go ahead and cocker say unfair. In fact, let me open the telephone line.
I want to make her say, employee no, even though I hear Juma over 2 years.
Yes.
But employer no man no option. So kwa ye Juma will be before yes, sir.
That's correct.
Still I know a employer no setting.
That's correct.
We ye Juma or London. Yes, kwa ye Juma or Liverpool. Liverpool Juma so ya media. Who ban who can say I'm coming to work for the employer. Within your contract, or say this is your main place of work. However, if it becomes necessary, you may be asked to work elsewhere. It is like saying because I had there no. The best thing you can do is say because end there me move a relocation cost na there no support be back akra na be employer but say okay I will meet you halfway. But
Yeah.
Obaka say oh so me call it doesn't give me comfort because me man for now ha me call there me lose there.
Yeah.
Then you choose between your friends and
Mm.
your job wa Obaka say Obaka no. In this employer can say who nye adwuma no there, what does it mean? You are refusing to work. That's breach of contract.
Well, yes, yes.
Nti employer no not so ya say over faith so I can say this employee is refusing to work.
Mm.
Simple. Nti
I see.
employee ya say say me abetu enimi. Your poor friend no. Like I said minia we dey
Mm.
ya some who ko enimi a we lose. If you have done 2 years, you will lose because the employee has been offered an alternative.
That's correct.
But but
Some hard.
but
Mm-hmm.
let's come back to the BSCSM no one.
Uh-huh.
Nipa na ye adwuma na instead say bia obetua no ka no eba every other month and that's
Mm-hmm.
every other 2 months for the employer's own arrangement you are. And when the employee in the back say, "Oh, why are you withholding my salary? Because my adwuma
Mm-hmm.
no."
Yeah.
This is for employees, not self-employed people. So if
Mm.
you're an employee, now why you join a skilled worker as a skilled worker, or employer no who do sika no who are applying under section 13 of the Employment Right
Mm.
Act to say there has been unlawful withholding of wage. And that's why you do now you titi bebree fi mu a ento
Mm.
asumu a that is also
Mm.
unfair and unlawful deduction
Mm.
from wages. Ni nyinaa no wo kwan sɛ wode bɛfa employer no ɛbɛfa so. Wo man aso ate na sɛ wansesa deɛ a wode mmara kwan wɔ hɔ sɛ wode no bɛfa so. But say yes, na ɛteɛ deɛ a me nua employee skilled worker nso to ho
Mm.
fo.
Wow. Yo, Loyasma, medasi. Now, I tell for me be a telephone because I can just about 10 minutes to go. Now, yen bisa ye home question. Oh, question be bisa telephone lines no. Near message say bomodiana fre near di kind no any ni trato no. Wait to me a free WhatsApp line no on 075 96620 wobɛtumi afrɛ no na yɛtumi apagya de ama wo na menhwɛ ɔmo a mo send message de aba no yɛn nyinaa ama ni say skilled workers have no one to defend them. Some of these same lawyers work together with the employers. Oh, ama asɛm wei deɛ. A lot of skilled workers are treated unfairly, and employers lie about them and find ways to get rid of them. Ama wasɛm yi deɛ mentoma akyekyere wo deɛ na ano wate. So lawyers man, this is what Amma is saying. I don't know whether it's just a statement, a question, or we be say interrogation. I say retro there been question or ebisa no. Inte no. School workers have no one to defend them. Some of these lawyers work together with employers. A lot of skilled workers are treated unfairly, and employers lie about and then find ways to get rid of. Then there's a find ways now. Yeah, can and na yeah can unfair dismissal. And yeah, so ama yeah can ho asem no. Find if the employers find ways. Not just say ways no more find and then yeah jina so can say way now I'll find it you with no. Is it fair or is it unfair? And no one asem and na yeah can. In fact, yeah can say we can say board ne so kakra Charles Emery yo Misumajo so and Eminest Venture say good morning manya please I'll be due naturalization next year. Can I go and do my B1 English now? Oh yeah, Papa. Well, dear, yes. And he said, lawyer, ask my crack yes. Ube to me, aqua, B1 is here. Why? na wasa ye we in depth way you can say life in the UK say wonye ya say we no indefinite ne dia ene ho so ba say wonye ye dia but mo dia na koye because eno dia without eno no untumi nye naturalization no obi the question bi ba me hwehwe audio me hwehwe na membo ewa ha emma ye. Last one, 1 second. Na member. Enti no, B1, ubetumi atro ato ho next year. It takes 2 years. When you write, it takes 2 years before it expires. That is if you haven't used it. But the moment you use it, Nipeno, you can always use it at any time. Yenhwe, we.
Good morning, lawyer Hasma. Good morning, my name. The message my pa mobile mine. Let me share my pa. The question the final topic no. If I have visit. But on the same invite me my name papa mama ba as baby stay. That person say on the helm nana tunedi. And the question is first about you oma worry o. Oma worry ordinary oma worry. Number 2 ajapade na omo no. Me maame din da asase ne afukokofuo no so maame nko a.
Mm-hmm,
E da nso papa so nko adi ne da so.
mm-hmm,
Na ade a ɔmo no ɛyɛ joint ne yɛ ɔmo bie business shop bi na ɔmo na ɔmo no di ɛbɛda so na ɔmo ayɛ joint account
mm-hmm,
na mebusa sɛ ɔmo submit sɛ maame submit application no nko a obetumi de papa ɛdan no aka ho sɛ ne kunu no na mmom ne kunu nko adi ne da so papa so submit ne de obetumi da so sɛ afuo no yɛ ne yiri di ne da so ba ɛsan so ɔmo warranty yɛ ho nyinaa de a ɛyɛ possible saa. And after so omo asole elders Pentecost elders mpanimfo it is omo eno no ties just omo ties organ no se okoja asole letter ho asole for no be city letter say omo asole mpanimfo na omo tu omo be letter say and after third money preparation ma send am for the past almost 8 years no let be that can one say me send me scan say ene de hu say me de be can say me send omo remittances but mami hu wa wadaro ma
hey,
that's it.
akwa we pa me da se mo why de na question de nka eno ase why sisa ne nyina akwatena lawyer nim no watumi akyerɛkyerɛ mu ye ɛne lawyer asma ahamre no ontumi nko into details but lawyer asma ye nua be my question ye mbobɔ
Okay.
so ma ne
So just three questions now. Odiaba. I suppose say visitors visa. No, upper say the parents. Yeah, yes, sir.
right
Right.
yes
So, is he on the call?
there be a voice
Oh,
note
boys.
yeah.
Yo, enti edi kan ne parent omo ye mpanyinfo.
Mm-hmm.
Points are we raising now are valid.
That's it.
Omo wo ejapade.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter who owns ejapade.
Yeah.
There is something called um constructive trust. Say
Okay.
ejapade that way eye dia no nipa ba ko di
Mm-hmm.
eda so.
Mm.
Matter of explanation.
Okay.
Now, obisa say omo letter no a ometumi aka ni na how did they do it? Omo ya
Mm.
asori mpanyinfo.
Yeah.
Remember under Appendix V, paragraph
Mm-hmm.
4.2, a hono, and that's a 4 hono.
Mm.
I catch you say, as I say, we prove say we a journey visitor. Oh, but
Mm.
na wako. Then I
That's
just say we
right.
be call. And hono na
Mm.
sa information that be ebe ye juma one letter no.
Very- Okay.
Into ono na outro letter no a, obeka say, many akwesi mensa. Wo
Mm-hmm.
you come me. Men krata me
Mm-hmm.
de woni, ejuma me ye nie.
Mm.
Me ma me ne me papa. Omo di say. Then I
Mm.
know I am a kwasra omo. Na because of me juma na ade oni nti ntumi nta kwasra ho.
Mm.
Na omo nso for some time omo hu mi da.
Okay.
And na because me na me ya omo ba peni anase di kan nti. I am asudi say me no sure say dey bia no mo ye okay. Titiru
That's
omo
right.
nyine be bi sa 60 years, 70 or 80 no. Into
Mm.
Christmas yi mapa say ye na bi abu. And I
Mm.
say omo na ya wo no so akwala na omo ba Christmas. Omo na ya
Mm.
wo no first one omo ehu no omo nhia no da second one so aba ye de na to maame santi
Mm.
me ne oba no ye po ye timi po say omo ba be kan ye ho na di kan omo ehu
Mm.
omo na di kan na the next one so omo ehu no na omo
Mm-hmm.
aboa ma ya ye Christmas no kama kama
Yeah.
Now, I'm first our time so that we can spend time as a family together. Omuya, ombeko. If we say, what am I no, omuye fuo. For
Yeah.
instance, omu was say, Koko, omu was say. It doesn't matter who owns it. Into omu and omuye bibia, omu
Yeah.
afo, and say workers omuye ejumano. Into some omu no omu anka, ejumana say, omu brain na
That's right.
say, again so your pension. Into omu ba
Yeah.
ombeko. As far as omu ye penifo. Bia maame yɛ local leader, papa no yɛ member leader.
That's
Nti
right.
bi a Christmas convention ɛɛba. Nti ɔmo
Yeah.
ba a, ɛsɛ sɛ ɔmo tumi kɔ because ɔmo na ɔmo hyɛ toto wei nyinaa. Mpo ka ɔmo ba, but because of family wei nti, na akɔbɛ
Wait.
ɔmo treat wei as an emergency. Nti ɔmo ba na ɔmo akɔ asɔre asɔpɔto saa kama. Na ɔsɛ ne
Yeah.
sika. Me maame ne papa me na mehyɛ wɔn. Bosom bi a sika a mede kɔ nie. Mmanya na ɔmo ba no, me na mefa ka ne nyinaa. Ɔmo ba ha na mbɛda. Ɛdan ne dodoɔ nie. Nti under the Housing Act of 1985 part 9 no, mmara ɛma kwan sɛ space no so. Ti ɔne ne kunu, me papa ne me maame. One room na ɛda hɔ no, ɛhɔ na mbɛda. Nti ahokyere biara ɛmma. Ɔmo ba a me na meyɛ biribiara, me slip nie, me bank statement nie, mewɔ sika a mede bɛhwɛ wɔn. Me ni savings. Na mbom, me salary no is enough. Omo ba accommodation extra. Edidie na extra. By even that, my arrangement. Omo ba so a na mpɛ 500 a mo de shopping. Ni nyina no na mafa ade no. Enti omo
Yeah.
de they are not paying anything. Enti say.
No, I nyinaa. Now they are told. Okay. Visitors application. Na, you need to explain yourself well. And sana, what to me enya. You can say, "Una we show mama." What about lawyer husband? Where the emre no comment and chebia me invite lawyer and no so the English version about to so. What about me parent na wolf you know mo be to the extent so mo kra no mama ne miska so that we have evidence just so mo kra de bi o mama ne miska. Does that mean say me am wa mean to invite you mo and I said they can come on their own so mo ba visit e wa brochire na che so mo abesra mo ba we ye just question bi a aba mitrim say me na me sponsor mo bi bia nti na say if you get say mo visa now what about mo no mo ba they can sponsor everything on their own. I don't even give them money. Pushwe mo kromo na de bia busumi bia mo pay sika free Ghana ebre nam odam owo ma me ma omo nana no mo nti omo send sika. That means they are well to do. Lawyers ma eno so
Oh, so no dey straightforward. And no any say we dey ashem say, me papa ne maame, edwuma omo yɛ nie, evidence ni nie. Enti Ghana omo ba no omo ano mbe support omo bibia. It's going to cost them
okay.
£2,000 or £3,000, but they have enough to cover that, and therefore it will not bring pressure on me and my family, and so there will be no recourse to public funds while they are in the UK.
Okay, let's just say any explanation. Kojo to force watching from West London lawyer. Well done. Kenny, Kenny, yeah. Oh, Kenny, you need, yeah. I can't see it well. Okay, yeah, that's it. Kenny yina, Kenny yina, yo, yeah, that's it. Yo, Messi, see, I met unsa afraid, ba lawyer Annie. Na on also for the English aspect of it, and be to German. Good morning, lawyer Annie.
Good morning to our viewers and listeners, and happy Friday to you all. So, the topic was we dealt with unfair dismissals in the workplace, and we specifically looked at the when it comes to skilled workers. So, lawyer Charles first of all went through the different types of dismissals that there are. So, starting off with constructive dismissal, which is when an employer's conduct basically results in an employee feeling that they have no alternative but to resign. Then there's also summary dismissal, which is where the employee has done something very serious in the workplace, like a gross misconduct, which results in them being dismissed immediately. And then there's also redundancy, where an employee is sacked because there are, for example, no jobs available. And then there's also unfair dismissal, which is what we dealt with today, which is where an employee is sacked, but their dismissal is contrary to labor law or employment law because the employer did not follow the correct procedure. So Lawyer Charles was saying that under Section 94 of the Employment Rights Act in 1996, every employee has the right not to be unfairly dismissed. So, Section 230 of the same Act, the Employment Rights Act 1996, states who an employee is. So, when it comes to determining whether someone is an employee, there are certain factors that have to be considered. So if, let's say, an employee or someone works for an employer and the employer has loads of control, then it is likely that the person is an employee. So if, let's say, there's a contract of employment in place and the employer decides what the employee should do, what they should do, when they should do it, then it is likely that the person would be an employee rather than a self-employed person. Or even if the employee receives pay slips or the employer decides or has put in place, for example, like a uniform or a dress code, all of that, like the more control that the employer has, the more likely it is that the person who's working for the employer is an employee. But it is really important to note that if someone is a skilled worker, sorry, if someone is self-employed, they wouldn't be protected under the Employment Rights Act. Yes, so skilled workers are normally employees because they have a contract of employment in place. They are told what to do, they are told when to do it. So yeah, they're mostly employees, although they are temporary employees, as normally they are employed for 3 years or 5 years. But anyway, they are protected under the Employment Rights Act 1996. So yes, when a skilled worker is, let's say, they are sacked for some reason, let's say they slept at work or they did something, they can potentially bring a claim for unfair dismissal against their employer if they have worked at that workplace for at least 2 years. That is really important to note. And then if they have worked for at that place for 2 years and their employer sacks them, and then the employee takes the matter to, let's say, the employment tribunal, in that case, the court would consider whether the dismissal was fair or not. So they would take certain factors into consideration. So they will consider whether the employer followed the ACAS procedures. So ACAS is the Advisory, Conciliation and Arbitration Service. And then they would also look at whether the employer followed their own procedure, their workplace procedure, and also if they followed the Employment Rights Act in terms of the procedure. So they will consider whether the employer first of all called a meeting, like because they want to see whether the employer followed the correct procedure when it came to dismissing the individual. So number one, did the employer call a meeting? Did they carry out an investigation? So let's say the employees left. They have to, and they have decided to sack the employee. They have to follow the correct procedure. Did they give the employee written warning because of their conduct, or if they sacked the employee because because of their capability, the court would consider whether the employer gave the employee training. So yeah, the court will take all of these into consideration to decide whether a dismissal is fair or not. And they would also consider the age of the employee, how long they have lived there, how long they have worked there for. So it's kind of, they will take a number of factors into consideration to see whether the dismissal is fair or not. So that's just a quick summary for today. Please, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lawyer Annie. It's here for Sahane did median baby and answer a last my way there. Just a quick one. Make us me on son, but or insist question be or the ababe tuja or see I came in with a skilled worker visa number 6135 with my husband. The company that brought me in redrawn, I say in redrawn is redrawn my COS because I'm not working much with them. So where they were photo. Who now only on one redrawn. Now I'm trying to get sponsorship from another company, but was told my C135 COS can no longer add dependent. Please, I need advice. Kratchi o anaa maame a webisa question menim kuro so a wakɔ akɔhyɛ because this information yɛabɔ ho dawuro abɔ ho dawuro abɔ ho dawuro. Lawyers ma advice bɛn na yɛde bɛma me nua bɛyi.
Oh, by our ejuma and all switch akọ another ejuma. It doesn't really matter the reason or this switch. Or so person switch. No switch here. Ne dependent on you okay and so you okay. For the fact that only dependent in the buyer means or buyer before 11th of March 2024. And because now only or more what that done or switch here, they will follow her to the new workplace. So they are covered.
Okay, nti nea ɔtete sɛ no longer ne deɛ ɛnyɛ nokorɛ because she was here before that law came into power, right?
Before that, she was in the UK, but she was under the skilled worker program.
Ansana yo nti me nuaba wotie mi a lawyer asma advice I think say wokɔ wei ni so a wobɛtumi akɔtie just getting to the end part of it no wobɛtie nti no saa na ɛteɛ wo a wowɔ dada no deɛ affect wo dependent no why nti saa na ɛteɛ I wish you all the best sɛ wobɛnya switch anim yi a na wotumi proceed with your life. Last me beda si ye tie for da mo nyina si de dwumedie no abewi akyem minutes ni bi kakra de account no momboy abaso by sharing our program, liking our page and subscribing to our YouTube channel na here pa so no there is a notification button there bell o bisa o mia so a ebeboa na se ne be anytime we come on you'll be the first person to be notified. Nyame nka nyina last man patre den na odbeja yansa na asori akọ.
Yo, it's a full national folk and come on, the band in I there. Say, Yajimura, I should the Daudo. Make sure that Nipana in a Yajimano. So, Bende, you made that a Dama Azariano of Famra Quim. Also, a yes skilled worker. Shade Zariano of Famra Quim, Ama, a Jumanura Kade, on Peubima, and Yamran Ijnado, Nayan Action. American United say a skilled worker, a employee. Nambum, so bad that would you wait. Na epɛdɛdze employee no employer no from requirement hwɛ dɛ nyina yɛ adwuma 2 years sɛ nyina yɛ adwuma 2 years a na botum ayɛ dɛ ɛbɛka dɛ we breach contract na seek remedy for their specific performance dɛ adwuma no ɔsɛ 3 years nti o make sure dɛ ɔbɛma 3 years anaadɛ ɔsɛ ɔbɛtua wɔ cow day nti ɔntua wɔ cow day ɔno no ɛdze no bɔkɔ court for contractual breach. But say to 2 years there, so this mission na issue no ya woda no confirm requirement but we now call employment tribunal. Na ni nyina mu no make sure that zaye no ofata amako court a etum ezibi. Nti sure that wo contract awo no izido. Na say izido na say employer no opeda onyo e nya bi a we enyi ginyum another frame requirement da no no dey botum akɔpɛ lawyer ma wɔatufo na ehu dza botum ayɛ na afadam kwan no do nti na kɔ no ɔkɔma employers ɔkɔma employees a wɔde skilled workers aba sɛ edwuma yi hɔ a employer call the home office and tell them dɛ edwuma ni hɔ ma nyimpa no 60 days na move on another ɔwɔ employee call the home office tell them dɛ edwuma yi hɔ na wɔma wo 60 days to move on sɛ botum ayɛ nkotsee dza a dɛm na mbra no ɔkyerɛ.
Last man nyame nhyira o yɛda ase papaapa the all the education that you've given us this morning. Nyamin kawo. Yo, it's here for ne ahwefo aha na dwumedie e de embebe wiye na mmra no yetumi ato na mo before for us. So I wish you all a very good weekend. Mombo modina na mundi ni ye whilst the sun keep on shining, make haze. Ain't no men so ma me dina anyi manyeti menya agide mo nyinaa maaso ye mu ade panchi next week same time we'll meet again. Until then, have a lovely weekend. Bye bye.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specialising in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specialising in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contested and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner, with over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.